thanks for joining us on today's Go on Shaw TV. Some of you may know the movie Zoolander or the popular kids movie Zootopia, but do you know what Zoo Gala is? Well, we're here to fill you in. It's a one-of-a-kind fundraising event in support of the Saskatoon Zoo. Guests will get an exclusive viewing of the park at night and its many animals, including these beautiful brown capuchin monkeys. But there's so much more to the upcoming Zoo Gala, and we're learning all about it on today's show, which starts right now. Coming up, we check out one of Saskatoon's largest fashion events, and we find out how the money raised at Zoo Gala will help improve the Saskatoon Zoo. We're hanging out at the Saskatoon Zoo with some pretty cute kids. Oh my gosh, honestly, look how adorable these goats are. It has been so great to see so many school groups here throughout the day learning about these adorable animals. But over at Willow Grove Elementary School, kids are also learning about their brains, as Simon Hyatt tells us in our first story.
Dozens of grade 3 and 4 students at Willow Grove School recently spent the afternoon having their minds expanded with experiments designed to show them the ways their brains work and how they can be fooled.
Did you guys see it?
The presentation, provided by the Saskatoon Health Region's Brain Injury Outreach Team, is designed to not only show what our brains are capable of, but also the importance of protecting them.
There's a lot of injuries that happen due to preventable things. So something as simple as wearing your helmet and having a properly fitted helmet can reduce your risk of injuries by 85% when you're riding a bike. So it's pretty huge to teach kids how to get the right ones.
Helmets of all shapes and sizes were brought in by the students to ensure they fit correctly. No matter what activity they are being used for, there are a few basic rules when it comes to getting the fit right.
It has to be 2 fingers, forehead, the V, and it has to be snug on your ear, and 1 finger chin strap.
Almost 1,000 students in this age range in Saskatoon have received the training since the Brainwaves program was launched here.
Get them into the habit of wearing their helmets when they're young, and hopefully they'll continue those helmets when they're older and start engaging in those risky behaviors when you're like 14 years old and start doing the tricks and stuff like that.
Kwasny says kids aren't the only ones who need this information. There also has to be a societal change. She believes attitudes have started to shift and hopes the trend will continue.
Even something like snowboarding and skiing, the laws and rules at hills have definitely changed over the last couple of years. When I was growing up, and I'm not the huge stretch from younger people, it wasn't a thing. And now if you go on a ski hill or a snowboarding hill, you see helmets everywhere.
For Go on Shaw TV, I'm Simon Hyatt.
We are standing by the deer here at the Saskatoon Forestry Farm Park and Zoo. We are here to celebrate or recognize the upcoming Zoo Gala. Joining me right now is Dawn, and she's the Executive Director of the Saskatoon Zoo Foundation. Dawn, the Zoo Gala is a gala fundraiser that you've had for the past 19 years. Why is this a one-of-a-kind event?
There truly is no other gala like this event. It's one night that the zoo closes. It's an adult-only event, and we have exquisite cuisine from 10 of the top chefs from the Canadian Culinary Federation of Saskatoon. So you walk in and you start with your champagne reception. You can tour the zoo by train. You can walk it by foot, and you get to see the animals up close and personal. We have the zookeepers out, and they come out and they share their animal knowledge and some of their behind-the-scenes facts, and it's just truly a different type of evening. There's nothing like it, and without the support of our sponsors and our volunteers, this event wouldn't be as unique as it is. We've got performers playing the Caribbean steel pan on the pass. We'll have Ellie Thorne Band with some entertainment during dinner, and then she'll do a performance after dinner. We have raffle prizes. It's really a nice night out that just happens once a year.
And a private viewing of the zoo, how could you go wrong? And I know this year you're actually going to be featuring some exotic animals. Tell us a little bit as to what animals people can see when they come.
Well, we're featuring the animals of Latin America. So those animals happen to be in our children's zoo. So we've got the bats, and we've got the parrots, and we've got the monkeys. And that's kind of the whole theme. We try to pick a different animal every year and base the theme around around those animals, and this year that's the theme. So we want you all to come and travel with us to Latin America, and tickets are going fast. They're available at saskatoonzoofoundation.ca, or you can call 306-975-2250.
Yes.
And we hope that you'll come out and enjoy this wonderful evening at the zoo.
A wonderful evening at the zoo. I love it. And I know your stomachs will be pleased as well because you have some fine dining in store for community members. What can they expect for food?
Well, you know, it's really unique, this event. Again, it's not like your typical gala where you go and you sit and you get your 3 dishes served to you. We have 10 chefs and they all prepare 3 different dishes. So your appetizer, your main course, and your dessert. You can try the ones that you like as many times as you want. And then you get to vote on your favorite. And we have a chef award at the end of the evening.
Oh, what fun. Well, that sounds like an action-packed night. Now, Dawn, I know you're newer to the Saskatoon Zoo Foundation. Why is this an organization that you wanted to get involved with?
You know, I don't think people realize what a gem the zoo truly is here. It's one of the top tourist attractions in the province, and it just is such a well-rounded facility. We have a fabulous zoo manager who has done so much with the zoo and with the Forestry Farm Park, and it truly is a hidden gem. And to see how many people want to come to the zoo, how many people just find it, you know, whether it's relaxing, it's educational, because we offer the educational and the conservation programs as well. It really is a well-rounded tourist attraction in the province, and I'm just so proud to be part of it.
All the more reason to come out and support this worthy cause. Of course, Dawn mentioned it. You can go to saskatoonzoofoundation.ca for all that information. Thanks so much, Dawn.
Thanks for coming out.
Still to come, we find out how our local flamenco community is changing up a well-known opera, and Janella bravely gets up close and personal with the zoo's bats and monkeys. We are continuing on our exploration of the Saskatoon Zoo. At the moment, we are right outside of the Eagle's Cage. Taking a tour of this beautiful zoo is exactly what guests can get up to at the upcoming Zoo Gala on June 17th. And coming up, we'll learn how that money raised will help these animals. But first, let's take a look at an event that recently took place in our city, also with a pretty picturesque view. The currents of the South Saskatchewan River was the backdrop for this year's current trends during the 5th Annual Saskatoon Fashion and Design Festival. Veteran clothing designer Dean Renwick is based out of Regina and says events like SFDF are a great opportunity for designers in an increasingly competitive industry.
The fashion industry is just starting out. It's getting really good. Every year I see more and more designers that are coming about, and they're getting better and better. I'm like the grandfather of the industry. So events like this for local designers are the best way to get your name out. As a designer, it really gives you a lot of feedback because people actually come up to you and they say they love it, or sometimes they hate it. And I always tell designers, if you have to go to the opening of an envelope, go. So just be there and push yourself really hard and do as many of these kind of events as you can, because the more people who get to know you, the more business you start getting.
More than 4,000 community members came out to River Landing throughout the day to enjoy the sun, a street fair, a variety of live entertainment, and of course on-the-hour fashion shows by local designers. With continual support from Saskatoonians, the festival has grown to become the province's largest outdoor fashion event.
The last 5 years has been truly remarkable. When we started the festival, we did one event, a couple thousand people came out. Now we're up to 4 events over 4 days. This year we're doing 2 separate seasons, so we're doing a spring and a fall, which is coming up in November. Keep an eye on our website, saskfashion.com, for that. We are featuring local designers from both Regina, Saskatchewan, and rural areas. We have 7 showing today. Then we also have local musicians. We have a marketplace where you can shop and just check out all the handmade local things that Saskatoon has. As well, we have artists on site that are painting, and you can buy their art. Our Vision Salon and Spa Beauty Bar, they're giving away free braids. You can get makeup touch-ups, and yeah, just see what they have going on there.
Renwick was one of 7 designers to showcase their work at this year's festival, a labor of love for the designer who has been sewing since he was 8 years old and has worked with some pretty big names throughout his career.
Some of the stars I worked with when I was working in Los Angeles is one of the most amazing things to have, like an education, right? So I worked with the Eurythmics, I worked with Guns N' Roses, I worked with Bette Midler. Making a garment and designing, it's a bit of it is a creative process, right? You start going through magazines, you start going through books. I have a great library full of photo books, coffee table books, and I go through that. Sometimes I watch old movies. Sometimes I harken back to things that I've done. In fact, this year I did a Marilyn Monroe t-shirt, and it's actually a sketch of Marilyn I did back in grade 11. I put 8 garments down the runway. The girls were really, really good. And I had everything from a little bit of a casual wear to office looks. It was well received by the participants here at the River Landing. And I really enjoyed being outdoors and seeing your stuff outdoors in the wind and blowing and seeing it walk differently. And it's nice because you're always doing fashion shows in a controlled area with lighting and music. Whereas here it's kind of on the fly, so it feels really good. Plus everybody gets to work on their tan.
Laura Crossman, co-founder of Whiskey Teacup Design, is newer to the fashion industry and says this festival has given her the chance to network and learn from experienced designers.
It's a really hard gig, doing clothing design, so this is a really great opportunity. There's events all weekend. Last night there was a mixer party, so you can connect with other people in the industry, meet photographers and makeup artists. Our collection this season is really romantic and it's a little bit vintage inspired. So this piece right here, we've got a lace kimono with fringe. We've got a lot of lace in this collection, lots of fringe like usual, and lots of soft silhouettes and organza.
Big thanks for Whiskey Teacup for coming and showing off their designs.
For more information on upcoming Saskatoon fashion and design festivals, visit saskfashion.com. Just moments ago, we saw Phoenix, the red panda, come out of his little box, his little home. It was so adorable, and we're hoping we can catch up with him a little later in the show. But for now, we are hanging out with John. John, of course, is the manager here at the Saskatoon Zoo. Now, John, we are going to talk about the money raised from the Zoo Gala. How does that help the zoo?
Through the efforts of the Saskatoon Zoo Foundation, they actually fundraise for capital projects here at the zoo. And we're just standing in a place that's just ideal. I mean, we have the Affinity Learning Center, which was built in 2009. And it was a $1.2 million investment that the Saskatoon Zoo Foundation was instrumental in achieving. Behind us, of course, is the Potash Core Arc exhibit, which is another endeavor that the Zoo Foundation fundraised for, and we finished that in 2011, I think.
Sure.
And we're, of course, the home of ZOOGALA in the Lions Event Pavilion, and that's another project that they fundraised for. So, and currently, we are looking at a number of small projects, including a new sign for the new zoo entrance that we have here. But primarily what they're fundraising for, though, is a major project called the Carnivore Trail. And of course, ZOOGALA is an event that I look forward to every year because it is unique. Everyone's relaxed. You don't have to sit and listen to a lot of speeches. You can actually socialize with your friends and enjoy just a wonderful setting that we have here at the Forestry Farm.
Yeah, and enjoy the animals. That's what it's all about and in support of. We are hanging out around that. You mentioned the Affinity Learning Center. You mentioned this was a $1.2 million project.
Yep.
That seems like a lot to me, but do things cost that much?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
And don't forget, we're just on the outside.
Yeah.
We have 3 classrooms in there, washrooms both public and for the kids when they're in the classroom.
Okay.
A small kitchen. The Discovery Center, Knights of Columbus Discovery Center is on one end of the building. And that includes some of the state-of-the-art educational tools, including smartboards. And of course, the animals that are being housed in front here, many of the animals that are in this building, we actually use in our education programs. So it's easy, they're controlled all the time. We can bring them right into the children. Yeah. It's just, yeah, they actually do cost that.
It's impressive, but it's true. So, of course, how important is it to continually support the zoo and other organizations or other foundations, because things just need to keep growing? Because if that support is no longer, then things like the wonderful zoo, one of the top tourist destinations here in Saskatoon, could really be limited and lose important features.
Well, and that's it. And in order, as the city grows,
Yeah.
you know, you got to keep on the cutting edge of what you're doing. You know, over the last 10, 12 years, we've kind of diversified our animal collection. We've added new exhibits.
Yes.
We've added new features such as the Affinity Learning Center.
Yes.
We've added a new zoo entrance because it was taking 40 minutes for people to get through the entrance. Well, now we have the ability to open up 3 points of sale. And our service goal is that nobody will wait more than 7 to 12 minutes to get in. And we're going to continue to grow. 10 years ago, or 12 years ago, we were 65,000 visitors a year. Now we're 145 just in the summer. Wow. Another 20 to 30 in the winter. So we're 175,000 people just in the zoo. 285,000 utilizing this site year-round. Yeah. So, you know, it is one of the, I think, the best attended parks in the city. So. But then I'm biased.
I was gonna say, but no bias there. It's not
No
because
bias.
John loves the Saskatoon Zoo so much. All right, John, well, that's clearly a very worthy cause. Make sure you head to saskatoonzoofoundation.ca for all that information about the upcoming Zoo Gala on June 17th, and we'll be right back after the break. The Saskatoon Zoo is a great place to come and learn all about animals. Right now we are outside of the wolf enclosure, and I just learned a pretty interesting fact. If a mother wolf is killed and is still nursing their pups, a different mother wolf may adopt them to continue nursing. Isn't that interesting? Well, as we continue exploring the zoo, and coming up, we're actually going to get up close and personal with some bats, so you definitely want to stay tuned for that. But first, let's take a look at our next story. A world-famous opera is coming to Saskatoon with a bit of a twist. It will be performed by flamenco dancers and musicians, as Simon Hyatt tells us in our next story.
It is an incredibly intense art form, requiring years of practice to truly master. And as the performers of Alba Flamenca prepare to stage Carmen, things have only ramped up.
Starting from September, we start learning choreography, and then once we get the choreography, it's piecing it to music, and there's a lot of complicated footwork and different dance moves and getting everyone on the same page and working together, and it's a lot of work, but it always turns out in the end.
The irony is that a lot of that preparation may go out the window when the show hits the stage. Artistic director Carrie Alba says the addition of a live singer and guitar player means things can become unpredictable in a good way.
You need to constantly communicate with them, and that's when, say, what we call real flamenco happens. You're improvising. You know, you have a plan, you have a little bit of choreography here and there, but ultimately at the end of the day, what you're aiming for is let's improvise, let's surprise each other.
Also somewhat of a surprise is the choice of Carmen itself as an Alba Flamenca show. While Bizet's famous opera has been frequently adapted for flamenco, Alba says she had resisted until she could find a way to put a twist on the story and its lead character.
She's ultimately a seductress. She ultimately puts people under, or puts, you know, people under her spell, and so that type of concept is there. But there's a really unique angle that we kind of explore.
Going against convention is one of the elements that has kept Victoria Bowden involved in flamenco for the past 14 years.
Every year there's different things you experience, and I feel like with flamenco it's so unique and so intense, and there's so many different forms of it that it's every year it's something new, and you learn something new and different rhythms, and it's just really fun.
But Alba believes even the uninitiated will be heavily impacted by attending a flamenco show.
And I think that's what kind of shocks or fills people with this, what is going on? This is amazing, this is incredible. People come and say, oh, I got shivers up my spine, and or they're crying, or they don't know what to do. They're so filled with emotion. And that's what I love.
Alma Flamenco's production of Carmen will be held at Persephone Theatre June 11th. For Go on Shaw TV, I'm Simon Hyatt.
Oh Oh my gosh.
So you feel the wind as they fly by?
Yeah, I do.
Anybody stay out there?
No, not yet.
Not yet?
Okay, so we've got
Oh my gosh.
here.
Oh my
and then
gosh.
We'll get you to do the other stuff. So we'll just go.
This one over here? I'm walking so slowly. Oh my god, it's so close.
Okay, and there's holes in the top of that stone.
And, okay.
Just stick it in there like that. Try not to touch too many things.
Oh.
They literally poop everywhere.
Oh, I see.
There.
Just like that?
Yeah. So just that's
So what it'll do is it just gives them something.
Enriching the environment.
Yeah.
Giving some lavender taste. Smells, sorry, smells.
Yeah.
And this is the food they eat?
Yeah. These are fruit-eating bats.
They're not really coming near me,
No,
like at all.
but you can feel the wind. Even though their wingspan is only about 6 inches, these are one of the smaller bats.
I just got peed on.
Yeah, that's that happens.
You just got peed on?
That's good luck.
This is amazing, John. I can't believe I'm in here with the bats. And what type of bats are these?
These are Ceiba bats. They're from South America, and that's one of the reasons between the Ceibas, the Goldies, and the Capuchins who have been here for over 40 years that we're highlighting the animals of Latin America, South America.
At the ZOOGALA.
They're all endangered species, and so they fit right into our education programs. And the same problems that they're having in South America sustaining natural populations is what we're seeing here in North America and in our own country. Like with our grizzly bears, we're fragmenting the population. We're building it so much, we're pushing them into the mountains and then building more. So they're hardly having a place to live. So that's why their population is stressed today.
Very interesting. And I love, they literally just, they don't look like they're hanging on anything.
It's very little, and they can just attach to it. As long as it's what, 16th?
Yeah, it's very long claws that they have.
Oh, long claws.
Yeah, right there, there's probably about 8 to 10 animals just right there.
Oh.
Just in that, it's just a little ball of, okay.
Okay, let's go. I feel like I can check that off my bucket list. All right, now we're going into the monkey room.
Hi. Hi. Come in.
Oh, see, they know her. They love her.
Okay, so this is Leah, this is the mom.
They're so smart.
So again, the enrichment activity like that we did with those bats, we do very similar enrichment activities with many of our animals. Primates are some of the easiest ones to do them with. We do it with the bears and stuff.
The bears?
Oh yeah, different enrichment from scents. We'll put perfumes on the ground. We'll put watermelons or big melons in the pool.
Yeah.
And they'll go in and play with them for half an hour.
I bet they do.
There she is.
Okay. This is the male, this is Diego.
Diego.
That's Papa. He's the one that crawls on you. This little one looking in, that's Sydney. That's our baby from last year. What's Sydney?
Oh my, they love the mealworms.
Hello, Carol.
They're so cute. And what type of monkeys are these?
Goldies.
Yeah.
Goldies?
Yeah.
Goldies. Well, that wraps up our time here at the Saskatoon Zoo, and yet again, I am leaving with a wealth of knowledge about animals. No wonder this place is one of the top tourist destinations here in Saskatchewan, but if we want to continue seeing this zoo grow and these animals taken care of, we have to support this cause through upcoming events like the ZOOGALA on June 17th. For more information on that one-of-a-kind event, make sure you go to saskatoonzoofoundation.ca. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.